Hi, everyone from different parts of the world. Welcome, and we are very pleased that you are able to join our webinar. My name is Yuxiao Hong. I'm the director of LEC Lean Product Development Center at National Cheng Kung University. And today, I'm also joined by Pepe Pan, and he is the sales manager at Eda Helmets at Italy. And the topic we are going to talk to share today is LPPD talent development, collaboratively creating a new product. Just a little bit background of the Lean Product Development Center. And the Lean Product Development Center is founded at 2019 by Marcus Chow at LEC and National Cheng Kung University at Taiwan. And the aim of the center is to promote lean thinking and lean product and process development training and education, and also help customers doing LPPD transformations and become lean organizations. And the projects we have worked on include companies manufacturing bandsaw machine, hair dryers, and hair clippers, kitchen appliances, commercial beverage dispensers, and safety goggles. And this is the agenda of today's presentation. And first, I'm going to explain the challenges of a global talent shortage. And I'll also talk about the design of the Chief Engineer Development Program at our LPD Center. And next, I'll let Pepe Pan, he talked about his company, the motivation to change, and in the program, our projects for developing a full-face helmets. And if there's time at the end, we'll be very happy to take your questions. Okay, so the background. So according to the Manpower Group's survey, the global talent shortage reached record high in this year. It's about 75%. And in average, 3 out of 4 employers, they report difficulties finding the people they need with the right technical skills and human strengths. And so one of the major causes that lead to this problem could have been that our education system focused too much on teaching our students to be good at solving textbook equations in a specific technical area or problems with a lot of presumptions. And in fact, a lot of research indicated that our education system should not only teach students textbook knowledge or theories, but also our education system, we should teach students to be able to deal with uncertainties, deal with the real life problems in the real world. And most importantly, in our opinion, as lean practitioners, we think that our education system should teach students lean thinking, and to leverage lean thinking and leverage LPPD principles to develop profitable innovations that customers will appreciate. And in fact, in most product development projects, what's planned at the beginning are not always the same with what happens in the end. And so the problem could have been from the organization silos, could have been from poor scheduling, from the suppliers, poor suppliers' capabilities. The problems could have been from the cost issues that making people compromise some products specifications, or it could be due to the test failures of products or manufacturing production issues that cause rework and cause engineering change orders. And in fact, these challenges happens a lot in product development and impacts the outcomes of our projects. And So in order to solve these problems, in order to minimize the gap between what's planned and what happened at the end, and we think that it's very important that organizations implement LPPD in their organizations, and also they should develop chief engineers and or develop product architects, and to ensure the project qualities are consistently high in their projects. So to address the problems that we just mentioned, and also to address the problems of current education system, and our center, we develop a chief engineer development program that will train the people to be able to think globally in product development, and to be able to collaborate with others effectively to generate innovations. And the aim of this program is to educate all the placements, the PPD tools and principles, and also to help develop the placements potential to be chief engineers, and help placements to equip with chief engineer capabilities and mindsets. And our approach was very simple. We simply ask the placements from school, placements from the company. They have to work together to develop a new products. And in order for them to be a future chief engineer, and they have to do some of the work that normally done by marketing people, by R&D people, by manufacturing people. And since that's very critical, they have to have experiences of different functions in product development. And in the program, I am the LPPD coach that teach all the placements LPPD principles, tools, and I challenge them, help manage the product development activities, and in order for the project to move forward smoothly, and the placements from the company have to coordinate the company resources to help the projects move on the right track. And also the program typically it lasts about 6 months, and with milestones, and that can be broken down into different tasks. And each of the tasks in this program, we use the Lambda learning cycle. We use S3 problem solving to complete the task. And also in the program, as you can see from the slides, and all the members, they have to go through each process in the product development, and also they meet 2 times in a week in order to make sure that they don't fall behind the progress. And in general, the joining this chief engineer development program really requires intense work and determination. But the outcome, I should say that outcome are very positive and very promising. And next, I'm going to let Pepe Pan go through the projects in the program, and Pepe actually he was chosen by the company to be a chief engineer candidate. And Pepe, it's your turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Josh. So, hi, everyone. I'm Pepe. I'm from Eda Helmets, and we are working also with the one of the biggest motorcycle helmet manufacturers in Taiwan since 1988. And this time we choose to work with Josh is because we are facing the same problem as Josh just mentioned previously. So let's give you guys a quick review of our factory and how do we cooperate. So we are a manufacturer, and we also own the brands. And this is our headquarters. Our Eda Helmets headquarters is actually situated in Italy and also in Taiwan. So we are both brands. We are owned by Eda Helmets. And our factories is situated in Taiwan and also in Vietnam. We have around approximately 800 employees, over 800 employees. We are ISO 9001 certification, which is normal. And we also have a lot of branches office situated in Taiwan, Italy, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Japan, and Vietnam. And this is from below the slide, you can see this is our brands. we are well known as Zeus Helmets. Sanda and Antis is in Vietnam brand, and then we come up with an Italian brand called Eda Helmets. Okay, so the motivations to change for this product development transformation is actually really bothering us for the manufacturer, because we are facing a very long-term products development lead time, approximately 100 weeks. So usually it takes 1.5 or 2.5, even more years to develop one helmet. But the PLM, which is the product life management, is very short for our helmets industry, because the helmet becoming more popular from its fashion, from its design, from the comfort, and so many other functions. And usually each brand have new products for every 1 year. And so this developments for us, it's very crucial. So here below, I listed 3 points that the difficulty we are facing for the product developments. So the first one is the organization silos, or we call the silo thinkings, which means because to develop a helmet, each department from the company have to cooperate with each other. They have to share the same language to each other, and usually this is the most difficult situation, and the most wasting of the whole process is the communication. So the silo thinking is taking us into a place where we are very dislike to go out to the comfort zone, or to communicate with the other department, let's say. And the second point is, we have been implemented the Scrum implementation into our development procedure. The outcome is not so well, because the agile methods for development is actually using by a lot of companies or other industry, but they are also well known as the owner of the products usually have to take on all the development team to do the work, and everybody have to work between the development, and also modify when they face the error, and they modify right away. So this works has been implemented for a few years in our company, but the result is still turning not very well. That's why we reach out to the lean product developments. And the third is the OEM mindset and work culture, because why? We are working in the helmet industry for over 30 years. So in the beginning, we are working with a lot of other brands in Europe, US, and also other countries in Asia. We're working mostly in OEM mindset. So it means that we have to work a lot on the customization and so on, which means the silo thinking still continue. So that's why we are going to change. And okay, so the following. And so we are reaching out with Josh, Professor Josh here in the Chenkong University, and we started the project Kickoff in 2020, March to August, so approximately 6 months. We got 3 members, one myself, the sales manager at Eda, and also with the 3 graduated students. And then we are going to target a new cooperated helmets starting using the LPPD thinking. So we need the full face motorcycle helmets. Our target market is the mid-high end for the Italian markets. The user group have to be motorcycle traveling, or we call touring, road riding, TA around 30 to 40 years old. And the challenge that we are going to face is the ethics of design have to address the Italian culture, which is very difficult. I will mention this in the next slide. And then the interaction with real customers were very difficult. Third, to creating products, differentiation in a competitive global market is also very difficult. Okay, so now I'm going to run through the challenge that we are facing one by one. And what we are facing is how to address the Italian culture. So here you can see from our perspective, since we're Taiwanese, but we do have to live in Italy. I stayed there for 2 years. I still don't understand fully or completely how the Italian culture should be addressed. So we have to study. And what we are going to study by our knowledge gap is that we have to study the culture of elements and what can be widely recognized by Italian, what should be best addressed to the helmet style. And here you can see from the pyramid, we have the symbol, which is the object, and consumer behavior, rituals, and values. And the most important of this pyramid is the value. So out of this, all the elements that we can find, since Italy is a very rich for the culture, we have found a lot of meaning, a lot of elements, sorry, to represent Italy. But what's important is actually the meaning. So out of these, all the elements we find, we get the Roman helmets from the Middle East. Starting from the shape of it, the meaning of it, we want to address this Italian culture so people will understand in the first place. Yes, and then for the meaning here by the Roman helmets, we got authority, power, strength, and prestige, rank, status, and protection, also the enlargement. Okay. So from these elements that we have selected from the Roman helmet, we started to study how the line is addressed from the helmet and the shape, how will we reform with a rounded shape of the helmet, so because the helmet's severe. And then we started by selecting the shape of it, and then we started to think about the function, which I will mention also in the next slide. Okay. Oh, sorry. And for this part, I will let Professor Josh to jump in to explain how is the Genji Cappucci. It's very hard.
Okay. So basically, during 2020, it is a time of the COVID-19, and it's hard for people to do travels. And so in order to do lean product process development, it's important to understand customers' values. And so in order to do that, but our customers, they are remote, they are not located in the same location as we are in Taiwan. So we kind of leverage different types of data collection techniques in order to obtain the customer's values. For example, we talk with the subject matter experts. We do remote contextual inquiries. We also do customers reviews, studies on a good number of helmet online shops. We also do some surveys with some local dealers and salesmen from Italy. And we also look at the trend forecasting and analytics, a database, try to understand, try to get the critical design elements from those database. And so basically the techniques we use were data triangulation and leverage multiple data sources to obtain customer values. And so the outcomes that we obtained from those studies, we found that the customers they spend a lot of money and when they are doing the motorcycle road riding, but they really Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So the customer values we identify are they requires the helmets to have good ventilation, airflow in traveling, and also requires a low noise level, and for the helmets.
And then the third challenge that we are also facing, following up the Josh speeches, is how to create the product differentiations. In this case, we have collect a lot of data from the market that we have to select the competitive products from the world best helmet, for example. So here we have studied a lot of. Hello guys, can you hear me? Sorry, Josh, computer just dropped out, so I'm going to share my screen. Just a second. I'm very sorry for that. All right, so I'm going to follow up. All right, so, okay. As you can see here, we got some challenge that we have to do the product differentiations. And then one of the topic that we are facing is actually the airflow problems for the helmet, because we, like what Josh said before, we have to collect the information from the sales, from the customers, also from the designer, and most importantly, the review from all the e-commerce is also very important. That's why we have used some strategies. For example, we're using a data collection from the platform that we are going to collect, or we also interview with some key point members that using motorcycle, for example, designer and the sales, and also the regular user. And then we find out the airflow, which is the intake of the vents, is very important for the helmets. So we have collected these helmets, which we taken from the Shoei X14, considered the best selling helmet in the world, and with a very expensive price in our range. We know we have studied, and we have to cut half of the helmets to see how the shape is inside, how the channel will look like. Also, we are using the ANSYS simulation to see how is the helmets that we are going to address from the CAD file to know where the pressure point is, so we can make sure the airflow will have its maximum performance when you are exercising the riding experience. Okay. Then the final things is, because the helmet, actually helmet manufacturing is a very complicated process and very, very intense, actually, because we have to also guarantee the safety in the meantime to satisfy the inquiry, for example, the airflow, the comfort, and so on. So here, following up the airflow, we're going to create air channel inside the helmet, which in this case is the EPS, which is inside the helmet. So we have the shells, and then we have the EPS. And from the EPS, you have to create a channel. And channel here, the air channel, is very crucial where your air get intake inside the helmet. So as everybody knows, the heat comes from the bottom to up. So we have to create a channel on the top. That's why we're using the ANSYS to study here. From this page, you can see the how the airflow taken and how you should design the air channel on the EPS. This is what we also study. Finally, the noise. So when you are riding around 100 kilograms and so on, the noise is becoming very annoying, and this is also what from our data collecting, a very important point. Then we have decided design something from our experimental result. We have outdoors and indoor sessions to test how the audio, how decibel performance. And then we have studied 3 of our best-selling helmets in the world, and then we find out the X14 from Shoei is also the best performance, which in this case is the competing products we call CP. Then we decided to design some new shape for it to see how the result will perform by the wind take. And then we find out there's a B session which have the best anti-noise function. So this is also the other study that we have. So hence we have to design something starting from sketch, from the outer shell, from the inner parts, and also from the noise protecting part, which I will let you see the result just in a second. So here, I'm going to let you see all the process that we are doing here is actually we want to reduce the waste and to make it on time to match up the PLM, like I said previously. So as you can see in here, we are having a very gray area, which is our original standard of development. Takes from 1 to almost 18 months or even more, 24 months is also possible, and it happened before. But from where we are from the LPPD processing, we can shorten many process during the development, but we have to take some times in the very beginning to study. So here, like Natalia just mentioned, we also have to create the persona and the cultural DNA. I cannot show here, I'm sorry, because by the time limitation, but I will show you later. You can contact us after the meeting. So what I'm going to say here is that by the cooperation from last year, 2020 with Josh, we have shortened a lot of time just by collecting data and also the designing parts. The massive communication between the teams in this small group, we have found out 3 different product differentiation, and we're going to design that way, because in that way we can design something that can already satisfy the market, and which the market has demanded for a long time. Okay, so the summary from my experience with Josh is and the Cheung Kong University is that LPPD driven is also necessary for company if we are going to change the structure. And then through the learning from the working experience, we may obtain the agile thinking for the customer behavior, from which we can absorb massive communication. It is very important in this stage. Then, on the third, we have to simplify internal process of development, can effectively reduce the ways of communication. Okay, and the third and the fourth, finally, during the company reorganization, continually promotes the new proposal for new development by LPPD driven. And we also have to prioritize the education of chief engineer at its first place. Okay. And here are some outcomes that also are benefits from our students, from what we are cooperate. So I will leave it to Josh to represent this part.
So can I see the screen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Right. So basically, for the chief engineer development program, and the students, they develop the hard and soft skills. And in terms of the hard skills, students not only learn LPPD tools and principles, they also, as you can see from the slides in the bottom, their drawing and techniques and their 3D modeling skills got improved. And students also, from joining the program, they obtain the knowledge in helmet product development processes. They obtain the knowledge in mold design, die design for mass production, and they also learn to collect useful and meaningful data from the users, from experiments, and they learn how to do their analysis. And what's more importantly, I want to indicate is that the students, is the soft skills that they learn from this project, from this program. And because in product developments, we normally will have to deal with a lot of conflicts. And so during the conflicts, and students learn how to communicate, how to listen, and how to collaborate with others more effectively. And so those are the very valuable lessons that students learn from these projects.
Okay, so in the results, we're going to show you the result that we are cooperating with Professor Josh and the Cheung Kong University with Eda Helmets. So this is the final result that we got. We have addressed all the elements that we have selected from the Roman helmets, implemented into a 3D design of a helmet. This is the first draft, and this is after the 3D render, as you can see here. All the elements that we're implementing without fashion, style, functionality, safety, air take, airflow, everything has to be equipped in this one. And I think this is a very thrilling products that we are going to announce in the next following years.
Yeah, and actually the work has the perfect balance between art and engineering. And you can see that from the aesthetics, it carries the cultural elements of the Roman helmets.
Exactly.
That address the meaning of the high rank and high status and the power, strength, and also it addresses the meaning of protection. And so basically through the previous slides and introductions, you see that these helmets has good air ventilation system and
Yes.
noise reduction systems, and that's all these features really gives our customers very good, the best user experiences in their road riding.
Yes, we also given this product a name called Escape, because we want the persona is to aim for the urban user to escape from their regular life, to enjoy the helmet with comfort, with air take, with safety as well. Okay.
Okay, so conclusions. So our case example show the potential of developing LPPD talents through academic industry collaborations. For example, I and the students, we learn a lot from the company in terms of the industry. We learn about the helmet market status quo. We learn a lot about safety standards and cost considerations of different design. We learn about the helmets suppliers there and their capabilities and so on. And also on the other hand, and the company learn from us are include lean thinking, LPPD tools, principles. They also learn from us the aerodynamics knowledge, and also learn from us the how to use the ANSYS flow and simulation software to evaluate airflow in the helmets, and also learn from us the experimental design, students' open-mindedness, creative thinking. They also learn from us how to do remote user studies.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the conclusions. So actually, the outcomes of this case example also verify the viability of the chief engineer development program in two aspects. And one, our program is very effective in developing the products and also effective in developing the people. And our program is effective in improving the case company's product development processes and tools. And also the outcome of the case example also show that the LPPD tools such as set-based design and the A3 problem solving and Lambda learning cycles, they really help close the knowledge gap in product development in addressing the customer values. And lastly, the one thing I want to mention is that our team recently, we published one conference paper, and also students write a thesis. So those publications we were with the intent to promote LPPD, and it is our expectations. We really expect that professors, universities can join our efforts in linking the industry together to develop LPPD talents and to improve our education systems. And that's our expectations. And so I think this is pretty much our presentation.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for joining us.
So any other questions, since we're running out of time?
Yeah, I'm sorry for the technical problems. So yeah, I see here, Natalia.
Maybe we'll just take one questions. And
Yeah. Actually, Natalia is using some questions here. Did you test the change you made? Yes, we do have to test the change that we made from the helmet separately. By the noise, for example, we are using some temperature measurements and also audio measurements to understand how the performance that we are using, and then we define how this strategy should go before we make any design changes. Because every time when you go to the mold, it's very hard to change. So that's why the LPPD is very crucial for the helmet manufacturer. In fact, for any manufacturer in the world, that previously this will cause the problem and this will have the best review. And that's why we're also using the ANSYS from the Cheng Kung University. So we know previously, we don't have to wait until the product finish, and we know we made a mistake. So yes, I think I have answered your problem questions. Okay. Statement in customer perspective.
okay, so
because sorry guys, we are running out of running out of
overtime.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to contact us. We are very happy to answer any of your questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much.
Have a nice day. Okay, bye.